There's another shot by Knizner. A long way down the line and left. And the Cardinals have another homer.
There it is.
What's up, Kiz?
Hey, that's what I like to hear. I need to keep hitting those home runs because I like hearing those replays on the show.
Damn right, man.
That's beautiful.
Damn right.
Offensively, things coming together. Now, I mentioned this to my partner, Cam Jansen, former professional athlete in his own right, that yesterday, it's not for public yet. It's kind of an in-house thing, but you were walking around. I wouldn't say it was an official Cardinal jersey. It was sort of a hybrid between a jersey and a jersey, but it was a Cardinal logo, Cardinal shirt, and it had a C on it. Knizner had a C on his jersey. There was a little buzz around the clubhouse because Kiz is our guy. He's going to explain what that's all about.
Yeah, so I am unofficially the captain of the team.
Damn right.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Now, how this came about, I actually was deemed the captain, and I put the captain in, quotation marks, like with my fingers, deemed the captain by Willie McGee back when we were in Chicago playing the Cubs. He just started calling me the captain. It kind of caught fire in the clubhouse. Guys, kind of thought it was funny and kind of rolled with it. And our clubhouse manager, Walshy, he thought it was a great idea to order a C to stamp onto my BP top, and he was finally able to get that done yesterday, and I thought it looked pretty good, and I'm going to try to embrace it and have some fun with it.
Well, if Willie McGee says it, good enough for me. You're the captain.
You're the captain. He's telling you.
Yeah, that's right. So anybody else other than Willie, I would kind of brush it off, but anything Willie says carries some big weight, so I'm going to roll with it.
No doubt. So, Kiz, offensively, what do you think is different this year than last year? Because you did play a lot of games last year with Yachty being out, and that homer that we played already you've matched last year's homer total this season. You're slugging. What's different?
Honestly, I did go through a few mechanical changes in my swing. Adding a little toe tap in there instead of the big leg kick, and I think that puts me in a more consistent position to hit, having a little bit less movement in my swing. So I have a little bit more rhythm, get into a more consistent place to see the ball, recognize a pitch, and put a good swing on it. And then I think the main thing for me is I've kind of changed my mentality. I want to go in the box aggressive, ready to hit that first pitch if it's in the zone and it's a good pitch to hit. And my intent is to do damage. My intent is to swing hard and not worry so much about trying to get hits, rather trying to drive the baseball hard deep into the outfield. And really, I think that intent right there is the reason why I've been swinging the bat a little bit better.
That's very interesting. That was going to be my next question. It does seem like you're walking less, but obviously doing more damage. And it sounds like, in past years, were you going up there and maybe trying to see too many pitches and letting some fastballs early go by, and you're like, no, this year I'm going for dingers and doubles?
Absolutely. And if I look at my career, especially through the minor leagues, is when I had success, I was getting in the box ready to hit. And, to have that approach and be an aggressive hitter, I have to embrace that. And I also have to know that when I'm facing these teams, and I'm batting, eighth or ninth, teams don't want to walk me to face the deadly top of the lineup that we have. So I kind of realize that pitchers are attacking me right in the zone early in the count. So, starting in May, pretty much, I was like, you know what, I need to be ready to hit that first pitch or second pitch or be ready to go early in the count on something I'm looking for and drive that baseball. So, yeah, absolutely. Just going up there, being aggressive.
708 OPS, career high, and it's with a bullet because it's going up, and we know it's going to go higher than that. Also, 4 home runs, which I know career-wise puts you ahead of someone in that clubhouse who chirps a lot about their hitting prowess, right?
Yeah, that was a big home run for me. I finally passed Adam Wainwright in career home runs, so that was a really big day for me. I was excited. I think he was a little butthurt because he's been holding that over me for a while now, but we're just having fun, and it's a special moment for me.
So tell me about the grind and what it does to a team. 19-19. Now the blowback from fans is like, you guys are professional athletes, make a lot of money, you're playing a game, so they don't want to hear about the grind. But the grind is real, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And I think, I speak for a lot of guys on the team. It's the mental grind that really wears you down. We have really good, trainers, weight room staff. We have guys that, give you all the recovery and pregame prep that you need to have your body physically ready to go. But it's that mental grind of baseball, which is what wears you down. It's getting up there every single day, preparing, if you're a catcher, you're preparing game plans, you're working with the staff. If you're a hitter, you're going up there facing a different guy every day, really good arms over this 19-day stretch. So you're constantly battling day in and day out to go out there and produce the best you can. And I think mentally it wears you down more so than physically, but, we're looking forward to hopefully finishing it off strong tonight and then take it into these 2 off days and really relax, recover, and get ready for this next stretch.
So, kids, we've been talking a lot today, but also this season, about kind of the idea of good luck, bad luck, especially with starting pitching. You'll hear sometimes guys talking about weak contact, soft contact, and we were saying sometimes it's maybe not the greatest look when the team is not doing great and if you don't have a good outing. But I also think there is some truth to that, and you look at your guys' record, you have a positive run differential, yet the record isn't good. I think your expected record is 29-27, and instead it's 24-32 is the actual record. And you do have some pitchers who their FIP is much better than their ERA. So I guess my question is, how much of that do you think is fair? Like, you don't want to use it as an excuse, and I don't think fans like hearing that, but how much bad luck do you think, especially the pitching, has run into this season?
Well, first off, I don't necessarily always love expected stats because at this level of the game, it's about production and wins. But there is some truth behind expected stats, and I think if you really think about the game of baseball, there's a reason why you play 162 games, because there's so many swings and the game is so fine that you need to play that many games to truly see who the best teams are, and you need that large sample to find that out. So I think, that's where, the expected stats should make you feel better in a way, because I think we have been playing pretty good baseball. We've been pitching pretty well. We've been hitting well. And hopefully if we continue that, we find that happy balance between the expected stats and the actual outcome of these games.
Kids, we've been talking a lot about Luke and Baker.
Wait, hold on.
Whoa. Tell them who the hell you are.
Whoa. You cannot ask a question.
What are you doing?
Without saying your normal interruption.
Yes.
Cole here.
There you go.
There we go. He's the captain.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about Luke and Baker on today's show because he's been raking in AAA, and I just wanted to know, what did you see from him and with your time with him in spring training? What have you been hearing about him in Memphis? Because he's really been turning some heads, and we might even see him at the major league level here soon.
Well, I saw that 412-foot broken bat home run, and that was pretty impressive. That was pretty sweet to see. But every time I've seen Luke in play, and obviously it's mainly been in spring training because I don't think I've ever played with him in the minor leagues, but every time I see him play, he hits the ball hard. And that kind of goes back to what my theme is in the box is hit the ball hard and hopefully good things will happen. So, when I see him having good at-bats, swinging the bat hard, he's a big physical threat in a lineup. He's intimidating to pitch to because he's massive. And, he's got power. So, I think he's definitely playing really, really well down in AAA, and you never know. I think, I guess we could see him at some point, especially if he keeps hitting the way he does.
Let me ask you this: when a young guy comes up in the clubhouse, they have to take a back seat to the veteran. They want to be seen, not heard. You know that. Like, you can't talk too much. You got to follow the protocols in place. But when a guy that big comes up, Can't he cut to the front of the line in the food line? Can't he do whatever he wants to do because he's so big and scary?
I don't know about that one. I don't know who wants to challenge him. If he decides to snap and want to fight somebody in the clubhouse, he'd be a tough battle. No, I'm just kidding. But, I think if you look at our organization, we got a really good we have really good leadership, especially at the big league level. And I think guys all the way through our minor league system, they understand the game. They know how it works. And, when guys get called up, everybody fits in seamlessly because everybody goes about their business the right way and they know how to handle themselves. So, I don't think it would ever be an issue.
So, Kiz, what do you think happened the last week or so? You guys go on the 2-week stretch, and we're talking here Cubs, Sox, Red Sox, that is, Brewers, Dodgers, and you're beating good teams. You have your best 2 weeks of the season. You're winning series versus good teams. And then I know every game matters the same, but I guess we would look at the schedule and say, okay, now you got some teams coming up where you want to keep that going. And you got the series at the Reds. You split it. You lose the series to the Guardians. Obviously, yesterday to the Royals. What do you think happened the last week or so? Because I think everybody kind of thought, all right, now this is the Cardinals team we expected for 2 weeks. And then there was a regression again the last week.
I think you chalk that up to the game of baseball. We played really, really good. And, really, really good over the past 2 weeks. And then you run into, some teams that, on paper you should beat. But if you look at that Cincinnati team, they got some good young players, hitters that go up and have good at-bats. And we ran into a couple of their starters who had pretty much the games of their lives against us. And the same thing with Cleveland. Cleveland, they got some good young hitters, guys that can handle the bat really well. And then their starting pitching through really good against us. So, it's Major League Baseball. Everybody that you play against is top notch, best in the world. And, if you don't bring your A game every single day, you're liable to get beat.
So let me ask you this about the WBC. So Michaelis goes today, and he didn't pitch a lot at the WBC. It didn't have a normal spring. And then he got started, and he had a rough start to the season. Has been better and better and better. He's pitching as well as we've seen him of late because I guess the process worked itself out, and he's back to where he needs to be. Waino, same thing, WBC, then an injury. How much of a challenge is it, do you think, for a pitcher? Everyone loves the WBC, but how much of a challenge is it for a pitcher to go there and, off his regular routine and his preparation for the season and then suddenly have to kick it right back in as quickly as the WBC ends?
Yeah. Well, first off, I love the WBC. I think it's great for the game of baseball. So I think if you get the opportunity to play for your country, I think 100% you should do it. That being said, I do think there are some challenges when it comes to your normal preparation for the season. Going through a normal spring training, building up to get, X number of pitches, whatever that is, whatever your buildup is, however many innings you need to throw. I do think there's certain challenges. Is that why those guys maybe started maybe a little slow? I don't know. I don't think so because those guys go about their business the right way. But, I feel like both of those guys are definitely pitchers that as the season goes, they get better and better and better. And I think that really just shows, what kind of pitchers those guys are. They get better as they go. They're well-conditioned. They're smart pitchers. Their stuff gets sharper because they're workhorses. So I think that's a good sign going forward to have both of those guys throwing better and better each start.
I agree with that, Captain Kiz. Hey, man, we'll be watching. Good luck to you, and we'll talk next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Right on.
Thanks, buddy.
Captain Andrew Knizner right there, baby.